Good morning, class 8th. So, yesterday I told you about two steps of agricultural activities which are being followed when we are growing the crops. Now, you can name the first steps. First step is preparation of the soil, and second step is to sow the seeds in the field. Now, once the seeds are sown in the field, then there is a requirement of some additional nutrients, because when we are growing a particular crop in a same field, then what happens, its nutrients decrease, means its minerals, whatever the minerals are present in the soil, they decreased day after day or season after season. So continuous cultivation of the crops leads to the deficiency of the minerals. To increase the minerals in the soil, we either add manure or we add fertilizers in the soil. Manure, which you have studied in class 6th also, these are prepared by the decomposition of the organic matter. Vermicomposting I told you, composting I told you. So basically whatever the organic matter is present in the field, like plant parts, roots, leaves, whatever is present there, they collect it in a hole, and due to the bacterial action, that is converted into compost. So this is a natural method, an organic matter which can be added in the soil. This is known as manure. Other than that, there are fertilizers also. You can see here what are fertilizers. Basically, fertilizers are the chemical substances. Okay, fertilizers are basically prepared in the industries, in the factories, with the help of other substances like nitrogen, potassium, calcium, whatever is deficient. They mix different types of substances, and they form different kinds of the fertilizers. These are basically the man-made things. For example, urea, ammonium sulfate, super sulfate, potash, NPK, nitrogen, phosphorus, potassium. These are different kinds of the fertilizers which are used in the crop production to increase the nutrients in the soil. Fertilizers are not so good because these if we keep on adding the fertilizers in a field, then excessive use of fertilizer leads to pollution. Your air gets polluted, your water gets polluted, the water bodies which are near to the field, these get polluted. So basically fertilizers are not so good in this. If we see the long term damages, it also decreases the fertility of the soil. After some time, the soil becomes infertile. So rather than using, nowadays when we talk about the organic farming, we use manures. Okay, manures, I told you, these are the natural substances, the organic substances, or the compost. One more method of keeping check of the nutrients is crop rotation. What is crop rotation? You have studied in class 7th also. In season by season, we change the crops in a field. Like in one season, if we are growing paddy, then in second season we will grow wheat there. Okay, so like this. Or if in one season we are growing pulses, so in next season we will grow maize there. So season by season, if we are changing the variety of the crops in a field, so it helps in keeping the nutrients checked. One more method, this you have studied about the rhizobium. It is a kind of bacteria which lives in the leguminous plants. Their root nodules have this bacteria which helps to fix the nitrogen present in the atmosphere for that. So this is also a natural method by which we can help, we can actually replenish the nutrients in the soil. So this is the difference part. You should learn this part. What is the difference between fertilizers and manures? I'll give you in screenshot of this page also. This is important for your exam purpose also. You learn it. And basically advantages of manure I already told you. These are organic, so these help in keeping the humus, means these help in adding humus to the soil, and these are more helpful, these because these increase the water holding capacity of the soil. So these are organic also, these do not cause any pollution. So these are some of the reasons why we prefer manures rather than fertilizers. Okay, now our next step is next step which we are going to follow, next process is irrigation. When the seeds are sown, they need fertilizers. We have added fertilizers also, we have added manures also. Now we need to water the plants, the crops need water, and this process is known as irrigation. You can see that nowadays in our, if you go anywhere now, due to the climatic changes, rainfall is not proper. In some of the places rains are there, some places they are having lack of rain. Many rivers are dried up. So due to these reasons, we need to form some, we need to encourage the formation of some methods of irrigation. We need to practice some methods of irrigation, and that irrigation can be done by different sources. Like, what are the sources? Basically wells, tube wells, ponds, lakes, rivers, dams, canals. These are the sources from which we can draw the water, and we can sprinkle that water to the fields. These are the sources, because rainfall is not proper. There are many regions where rainfall is not there. So for those regions we need to depend on the sources of water, different sources of water from which we can draw the water. Let us see what are some old or traditional methods of irrigation. You can see moat is a kind of method, chain pump, rehet, dhekli. These are the old method, and I think it is clear from the diagrams also what they are doing. They are using, basically they are using wells to draw the water in moat. This is a chain pump. This chain keeps on rotating, and the water is drawn from the river or some wells. This is rehet, which is being driven by the bulls. And this is dhekli, in which one stone is kept here, and it goes inside the, once this is pulled out, this bucket gets inside the well, and it draws the water, and it can be manually, it can be spread in the fields. So these are the traditional methods of irrigation. Now let's see what are the modern methods of irrigation. This you have studied in class 7th, I guess. Sprinkler system and drip irrigation. You can see this one is sprinkler system, and by picture it is very clear. Let me zoom it. You can see this. Sorry. Okay. Now you can see this one. See here, there is a pump which is being installed in the well, and these are the pipes, and these pipes are connected with some more pipes. Some small pipes are there, and once the motor is on, this water gets spread like this into the field. Mostly in hilly areas this kind of method is used, which is known as sprinkler system. It consumes less water, so it is better than the older methods. It stops the spoilage of water. Now you can see one more method, which is known as drip irrigation. In drip irrigation, same setup is there. Wait, it has same setup. There is a motor, there is a well and everything. But what is different in that? One thing is different in that they have so many small pipes connected here. You can see this larger this larger pipe is connected with some small pipes, and all the small pipes are opening into near to the plant's root. Okay, so like this pipe is connected to smaller tubes, and these tubes open to the roots of the, means be directly near the plant. So like this, drop by drop, some water reaches to the plants, and in this manner the water is not wasted at all. So these are the modern methods of irrigation which consume less water, so these are more beneficial than the older methods. Now let us quickly revise what we have learned today. Today we have learnt about the third step of the agricultural practice, and this is known as adding manure and fertilizers. These are added to enrich the soil with the nutrients. Manures are the organic matter, while the fertilizers are the inorganic substances which are formed in the factories. There is another method, that is crop rotation. The crops are grown season wise differently. Rhizobium is a bacteria which lives in the root nodules, and it helps in fixing the nitrogen. Um, Irrigation is the fourth step which is followed in the agricultural practice, and irrigation is to water the crops accordingly. These irrigation sources of irrigation are dams, rivers, lakes, etc. Traditional methods of irrigation is like moat, chain pump, dhikli, rehet, and modern method of irrigation which consume less water are sprinkler system and drip irrigation. Okay, so based on this I gave you one exercise which is given in the homework. You need to do that, and if you have any query you can ask in the class only. Thank you, class 8.